The Google Play Store has released guidelines allowing NFTs in blockchain games. This is a huge step towards Web3 gaming mass adoption and a huge win for Gala Games, but more on this a little later on. Now, what makes Gala so unique, and why do I believe this is one of the best Web3 projects to invest into?
Blockchain people are finally beginning to realize that user experience is an important thing. That's a hugely vital point for the mass adoption of blockchain. I absolutely think that we can be a top 25 project in terms of utility and in terms of creative output. And there really isn't anyone else in the space that's making games the way that we are. We want people to understand what is really happening in this space and the building that is taking place.
Quick shout out to Altcoin Daily for this interview, getting the full rundown on everything Gala. So as you heard, Jason Vinks believes that Gala can be a top 25 project in this space, as there really isn't anyone else in this space that are making games the way that they are. One of the biggest problems within the Web3 gaming space is that most of these industries are making just one game. Of course, the advantage of this is that this one game should be amazing in hindsight, because you're putting all your resources into that one game. But this space, the Web3 gaming space, is one for innovation and to find out what works and what the public wants to see and wants to play.
I mean, I guess that's kind of the problem with the space, is that almost everyone's building one game, whereas we have, sandboxes of dozens to play with.
This is the big reason as to why Gala excels as one of the best Web3 gaming companies and gaming ecosystems. They have numerous games, almost 50 in their pipeline.
What sort of time are we looking at?
I mean, our pipeline goes 3-4 years into the future.
Another big aspect that many people don't like about Gala, but it sets them apart from everybody else, is their games don't use Gala's token as their currency, but rather a secondary token. Like in Spider Tanks, they have Silk. Jason Vinks covered the reason why this is the direction that Gala needs to go into when he was interviewed by PokerStarter Gaming.
The use of Silk in the game to increase your tank, to increase how well you can do, because I think you touched on it a bit there as well, is that the use of some of people's tokens that you receive in their game as the payout, the only use of that token is to dump it and get money. There's no use within the ecosystem or even within the game world that you could theoretically bridge into the lore of it as well and stuff like that. So I do like the aspect of having Silk as the payout opposed to Gala, because Gala in the game, the only use it has is to be taken out of the game to be changed for money if that's what people are doing.
Precisely.
So as you heard, this is the reason why a secondary token is necessary and why Web3 games of other companies have failed so often in the past. There is no longevity. People play the game to get the token and then sell it to make a profit. In order for Gala's ecosystem, this company and the games they are building to last, they implemented a secondary token, which is then redistributed back into the game by the gamers to make their experience more enjoyable so they can earn more.
And one of the other things that I think is an important component here is that that works. It works really well. Over 50% now of all of the Silk that's ever been created has been burnt through in-game usage. That's huge.
That is a massive number. To be honest, the idea that people have chosen not to take out insta-dump, but to put it back into the game to carry on their enjoyment, to increase their tank's ability to win them more Silk, is more long-sighted than how some have been in prior games that have then had their economic model crash around them because all anyone wanted to do was earn the in-game currency to take out and dump the floor price.
Yeah, exactly.
And now, with the Google Play Store releasing guidelines allowing NFTs in blockchain games, to which is expected to be released at some point later this summer. This is a huge step towards Web3 gaming mass adoption and a huge win for Gala Games. More and more massive corporations are starting to accept the idea of NFTs and Web3 gaming, and this inevitable change is the spark that will send Gala to the moon. Just look at the growth potential of the Web3 gaming market. The activity of Web3 gaming grew by a whopping 2,000% from 2021 to 22. Furthermore, Polygon Matic and Immutable Precedent predict that Web3 gaming will onboard up to 100 million gamers in the next 2 years. And this mass adoption doesn't just come from Google Play. Recently, even Starbucks have announced a partnership with AKU for NFTs. And also, did you know that the Epic Games platform plans to introduce nearly 20 NFT titles on their platform? We already know that Gala Games are partnered with Epic Games, and they have their Western style battle royale game Grit already on their Epic Games platform. And as I have stated in all of my previous videos on Gala, what additionally sets them apart from everybody else is that they are more than just a Web3 gaming ecosystem. They are a Web3 ecosystem with more. Something incredible that you may have not known about Gala Film is that their new animation series, Ghost of Ruin, they have Hans Zimmer working on their soundtrack. Hans Zimmer is a world-renowned compositor, an incredible musician responsible for the most iconic and unique soundtracks in movie and TV history. Inception, Interstellar, The Lion King, and so many more. And he is going to be working with Gala Film. There is so much more to Gala that will play a massive part in sending them to the moon. And there are so many more amazing investment opportunities. Check these out, for example. But remember, it's just a coin. And I'll see you in the next video.